Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome back to the 1972 playoffs in Momentum Football for my NFL season replay. We're moving back over to the NFC tonight for our other divisional playoff matchup between the Dallas Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers as we're live at Lambeau Field. First order of business, let's take a look at our most updated playoff picture. First in the AFC, we see the Cincinnati Bengals, once I remember to update the score from that game last night. The Cincinnati Bengals won a thriller in Pittsburgh last night by a final score of 20-13. As such, the Bengals are waiting for the winner of the Miami Dolphins and the Oakland Raiders in the AFC Championship. That game will be on Thursday. Moving into the NFC, the Minnesota Vikings very nearly pulled off an upset of the number one seeded Washington Redskins in the NFC Divisional Playoffs. But the Vikings ended up turning the ball over 6 times, gave up 14 points in the final 5 minutes to allow the Redskins to escape with a 24-20 victory. Our attention tonight turns to the other matchup in the NFC Divisional Playoffs as the Dallas Cowboys are at Lambeau Field tonight to take on the Green Bay Packers. The winner of that game will have to go to RFK Stadium in Washington for the NFC Championship. So we've got a full sellout. We've got a full crowd here at Lambeau Field tonight. Sea of green and gold everywhere. Cowboys fans not really much willing to make the trip this time. Last time these two teams were in the postseason was the Ice Bowl back in 1967, I think. Way before my time, at any rate. The Packers did win that game. As for something a little bit more relevant to the replay, the Cowboys actually won this game when these two teams matched up in Week 3, 17-4, and that game was also at Lambeau. Will the Cowboys have a similar result to this one tonight? Let's find out. And the only way we're going to be able to find out is we go to the same place that every one of these games starts. That would be with the coin toss. If you guys are veterans of the channel, you know how this goes by now. Packers, Cowboys, decision. Odds, the winning team will defer. Evens, the winning team will receive. That coin toss will be a tie, but the winning team will defer. So we'll roll it again. Dallas will win the coin toss, and they will defer. Neither team can return a kickoff for a touchdown, so that will make my life very easy all around. We are all set with the opening kickoff. Ball's been booted deep and downed. So the Packers coming out with this first drive. Lambeau Packer faithful are electric here at Lambeau Field as the Packers try to preserve home field advantage to get to the NFC Championship. Who will go to Washington? There's only one way to find out, and now that we've had the opening kickoff, now let's go to the first drive of the game. We'll tick 6 time off the clock. 5 will be coming off of Dallas's defense. 54 is going to be a field goal attempt. Here will come Chester Markle to try to give the Packers an early lead. Markle is an 11-51 on field goals made. Kick is up, and it is good on a 36. 18, 7 is 25, and 17 is a 42-yard kick. And that will give the Packers an early 3-0 lead here at Lambeau Field. Stadium cheers. Yay! But not too celebratory yet because it is very early in the game. Dallas now coming out with their first drive as ID Jester is first to join us here at Lambeau Field. So in quite the postseason, Jester, hopefully your weekend trip went very well. Let's see what the Cowboys can do with their first drive here at Lambeau Field. We'll be ticking 7 time off the clock. Down to 10 minutes to play in the quarter. 6 coming off Green Bay's defense. 46, Cowboys are going to have to punt that one away. Yes, I am starting early tonight. Well, this is usually about the 6 to 7 time frame is usually when I try to start these, especially with my Morning's now moving earlier and earlier with getting to work early. Green Bay now coming out with their second drive of the first quarter. Let's see what the Packers can do with this one. We'll take another 7 time off the clock for the Packers. Going down to 7:40 to play. 7 coming off the team with momentum. Right now that's Green Bay's offense. And a 16 is going to be a quarterback sack. Stadium groans. Ugh. That'll be a 4-yard loss. That could have been a lot worse for the Packers. And no punt return for the Cowboys either, so we can skip that. Actually, we've got to roll for a block, because the Packers can potentially have a punt blocked. But it needs to be an 11 on red and white, and then it's automatic after that. Cowboys are not able to block the punt, but they do get a jolt of momentum from the sack. As Dallas now comes back out onto the field with Craig Morton leading the way. Cowboys' first drive stalled. Let's see what happens in this one. We'll take another 8 time off the clock. Down to 5 minutes to play in the first quarter. 8 coming off Dallas's offense. And a 62 is going to be a touchdown run, and the Cowboys are going to take the lead. Stadium groans. Ugh. Cowboys now lead 6-3, pending the extra point. That will be Walt Garrison taking that in from 5 yards out. And Tony Fritsch will come out automatically for the extra point. And the Cowboys will take a 7-3 lead on the 5-yard touchdown by Garrison. We'll tick off our next time on the clock for Green Bay, as now there's 4:40 to play in the first quarter. Green Bay suddenly finds themselves down by 4. Let's see what the Packers can do here. Taking another 8 time off the clock. We're down to 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. 7 coming off the team with momentum. Right now that's Dallas. And a 26 on Dallas's defense. Green Bay's going to have to punt that one away. Let's see if the punt gets blocked. Punt does not get blocked. This drive by Dallas should take us into the second quarter. 7 time left. Actually, there's 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. And that drive will indeed take us into the second quarter, as 7 time is coming off the clock. Actually, I take that back. That'll be exactsies to get to the end of the quarter. 10 is coming off of Dallas's offense with a 51. That'll be a field goal attempt, and Fritsch will try to get the Cowboys a little bit of breathing room. He is an 11-43 on field goals, though, so this might be a little bit shaky if you're a Cowboys fan. That's a 62. Kick is up. It is no good. Fritsch will miss that one wide right. 12, 14, and 17 is 31 yards. And after 1, score will remain 7-3. Stadium cheers. Yay! And Green Bay will come out with the first drive of the second quarter, only down by 4. We'll tick off another 5 time off the clock. 13 minutes to play in the second quarter. 3 coming off Dallas's defense, and a 44 is going to be a key penalty. That probably, I suspect those words are probably bringing up traumatic memories for Bills fans right now. 44 is a key penalty, and since Green Bay has momentum right now, that'll be a defensive pass interference on the Cowboys, and the Packers will get a fresh set of downs. Along with an offensive read, no matter the result of this roll. as we'll tick another 8 time off the clock. Packers get a very grindy drive out of this one. Down to 10:20 to play. 5 coming off Dallas's defense, but a 62. That'll be a touchdown run, and the Packers will take the lead right back. Stadium cheers. Yay! Score is now 9-7, pending the extra point. 14 will be John Brockington taking that in from 3 yards out. Marco will come on and add the extra point automatically because it's an 11-66. And the Packers will now take a 10-7 lead. Still very much anybody's game, though, here in the second quarter. Cowboys only down by 3. And now they've got the ball for their first drive, I should say, of the second quarter. That will be 6 time coming off the clock. Down to 8 minutes remaining in the quarter. 5 coming off Green Bay's defense. 54. That's going to be a field goal attempt. Here comes Fritsch out to try to tie the game. Although he just missed from 31. Let's see what Fritsch can do with this kick. That's a 31. That kick will be up. That will be good, and the game will be tied. Let's see. 3, 8, 17 is a 25-yard kick. And just like that, we are all knotted at 10. With just still not quite past the halfway point yet of the second quarter. Green Bay now coming out for their third drive of the second, well, technically their second drive of the second quarter, since they extended their drive on a key penalty. Here come the Packers with Scott Hunter leading the way. That will be 7 time coming off the clock. 7 will be coming off Green Bay's offense because they have momentum. 61. That'll be a touchdown run, and the Packers will go right back out on top. Stadium cheers. Yay! 16-10 Packers, pending the extra point. But first, that will be run in by Brockington again. He'll take that one in from 3 yards out. Marco will add the extra point. And the Packers now have a 17-10 lead here at Lambeau Field. Dallas will take off time for the kickoff, and they'll get what's probably going to be their last drive of the second quarter. Not a role Cowboys fans like to see. 6 time coming off the clock. 7 coming off Green Bay's defense. Doug Sessoms now joins us here at Lambeau Field. 7 coming off Green Bay's defense. 15, that's going to be a fumble, and the Cowboys are going to put that one on the ground. Packers can score on fumbles, but they need an 11-12 on red and white. No, that will definitely not be picked up, though that won't be returned for a touchdown. 33 will be Ken Ellis falling on that one for the Packers. Stadium cheers. Yay! And this one shouldn't be the last drive of the half. Let's see what the Packers can do here, though. We'll tick off another 6 time off the clock. Down to 1 minute to play in the quarter. 7 coming off Green Bay's offense, but at 22, the Packers are going to have to punt that one away. We'll see if the punt gets blocked. It does not. And as we are inside of our 4 time boxes on the timesheet, you guys can see it right there. Dallas is going to enact my house rule to go for a Hail Mary. You can do that at the end. It's a house rule that I've adapted that at the end of a half or a game, if we've got 5 time units or less remaining, the team on offense can expend all of them to go for a Hail Mary if they're trailing or victory formation if they're leading. So Dallas will expend all remaining time and go for the Hail Mary. This will be on a key reception roll is how I roll this. Let's see what the Cowboys can do here. The Hail Mary is going to go to Billy Parks, and a 25 is going to be a first down, but that will be considered, but anything that's not a touchdown will be considered the Hail Mary stopped. So that'll take us into halftime. And heading into halftime, the Packers lead this one 17-10. And as usual at halftime, we will take a small break. I'll take a small break, and I'll let you guys imagine the Cowboys Actually, no, never mind. I was going to say the Cowboys cheerleaders, but no, we're at Lambeau Field. So we'll just say I'm going to take a small break. No football tomorrow night, as tomorrow night will be over the skies over Europe. We'll be over the World War II skies of Europe as we play SOE Lysander. Our next football game will be on Thursday night as we'll move over to the AFC and visit the Orange Bowl in Miami, Florida for a big divisional playoff matchup as the Oakland Raiders will be in town to visit the Miami Dolphins. Too bad the Hail Mary wasn't the red and white die and get the 66. True. Do I like this or Glory Days Pro Football better? I have Glory Days, but was considering picking this one up. I kind of like them both because they both serve a purpose. Where Glory Days Pro Football is probably, I was going to say it's about as far as play-by-play as I would want to go, but I actually do like this one because it gives me the feeling of football without being a complete sprawling mess. And that's one of the biggest problems I've had with tabletop football games is they've ended up being a big sprawling mess. We'll have to imagine that the cheerleaders from Dallas are there. Well, that's going to be kind of hard to do, Doug, because we're probably at the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field by what this point would normally be at the season. So it's probably snowing up here in southeastern Wisconsin. Where I live, I'm about a couple hours away from Lambeau Field, so it would probably be very snowy up there at the January time of year. But anyway, mild ramble. Always glad to provide insight when I can. So now we're coming back into the third quarter. Dallas had nothing to lose by trying for the Hail Mary because they get the drive first they get the kickoff for the second half. So the Cowboys will have their opening drive. Yes, Jester. Anyway, Cowboys are driving, and here comes the roll. That'll be 8 time coming off the clock. 7 coming off the team with momentum. Since momentum resets at the half, we default to the home team, that's Green Bay's defense, but a 64 will be a touchdown run. And this game will be tied. Green Bay will be leading by 1, pending the extra point. Philip Anderson now joins us here at Lambeau Field. And yes, both teams could pose a threat to Washington. I point you to no further than last night's game between Cincinnati and Pittsburgh for what could happen to Washington if they take this game too lightly. Anyway, for the rushing touchdown, 36 will be Garrison again. He'll take that one in from 4 yards out. Fritch will come out and add the extra point automatically. And this game is now tied at 17. Things are very interesting here at Lambeau Field. Tick-off time for the Packers' first drive as we now find ourselves tied once again. Packers with their first drive of the third quarter. Hunter gets the snap, and here's the drive. Taking another 9 time off the clock, a very punishing drive. 10 coming off of Green Bay's offense, but a 36. That's going to be a key pass, and the Packers have a chance to keep this drive alive. And for that, we only need the red and white. Scott Hunter is dropping back. It's 3rd and long. He's looking downfield. Who's he going to heave it to? Here's the throw. That's a 51, and that ball's going to fall incomplete. Stadium groans. Ugh. And the Cowboys catch a break to leave this game tied. But let's see if the punt gets blocked. It does not. As the Cowboys catch a big break with the key pass falling a 3rd and long pass falling incomplete. Cowboys now with their second drive of the third quarter. Tie game, Cowboys looking to take the lead. 8:40 to play in the third quarter. Morton takes the snap, and here's the drive. Taking another 9 time off the clock, another punishing drive. Down to 5:40 to play. 8 coming off Dallas's offense with a 56. That's going to be a touchdown run, and the Cowboys are going to take the lead. Stadium groans. Ugh. Score is now 23-17 Dallas, pending the extra point. But first, 15 will be Calvin Hill taking that in from 1 yard out. Fritch will add the extra point. And the Cowboys jumping out to a 24-17 lead with 14 unanswered points. Stadium groans. Ugh. Packers with their second drive of the third quarter. After I remember to tick off time, down to 5:20 to play in the third quarter. Hunter takes the snap, and here's the drive. Taking another 11 time off the clock. $10 coming off Green Bay's offense, and a 56. Oh no! Lambeau Field not happy to see the drive stall, and that's a field goal attempt for Chester Markle. It was... Oh wait, the Packers scored first. Right, so Markle was good from 42, and I think that's the only field goal the Packers have had to try today. 11-51, Markle will cut into the Cowboys' lead. That's a 62. Kick is up. It is no good. Markle will miss that one wide left. Stadium barfs. Bleh. 12, 17, and 17 is a 34-yard kick. And the score will remain 24-17 in favor of Dallas. Cowboys with their third drive of the third quarter. Just under 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. What can the Cowboys do here? Let's find out. Taking another 6 time off the clock. That won't take us into the fourth quarter. That'll be exactsies to finish the quarter. 7 coming off the team with momentum. That's Dallas. But 12, that'll be a fumble, and the Cowboys will put that one on the ground. We'll see if the Packers can return a fumble for a touchdown. And I only need red and yellow for this one. 11-12 for the Packers. That's a 16, so no fumble return. but a 16 will be 16 will be Willie Buchanan falling on that one. Stadium cheers. Yay! And we are in the fourth quarter as the score is now 24-17 in favor of Dallas. Packers need to get something going here. Fourth quarter of this game. Winner goes to Washington for the NFC Championship. Yeah, Green Bay that was a huge turnover for Green Bay to start the fourth quarter. Remember, you need to be disciplined with the ball. You're not turning the ball over 6 times and going to the NFC Championship. Ask Minnesota about that from Sunday night. Packers with the drive. Hunter takes the snap, and here's the drive. That will be 7 time coming off the clock for the Packers. Down to 12:20 to play. 8 coming off of Green Bay's offense, but at 25, the Packers are going to have to punt that one away. So the turnover ultimately goes for nothing. And the punt is not blocked. Stadium groans. Ugh. Cowboys with their first drive of the fourth quarter. Taking another 9 time off the clock. Eight coming off Dallas's offense. 45 is going to be a field goal attempt, and Fritz will try to extend the Cowboys' lead. Cowboys would love to get some breathing room to make this a 2-score game. 11-43, Tony Fritz will extend the lead for the Cowboys. Here's the snap. Hold looks good, and here's the kick. That's a 25. Kick is up, and it is good. 10, 18, 35-yard kick. And it is good. And the Cowboys now open up a 10-point lead to a score of 27-17. Lambeau faithful, not happy, watching the Packers' season run out of time. 9 minutes to play in the fourth quarter, and yes, Green Bay's got to keep it close. I would say they need a touchdown right here. Hunter lining up under center. Here's the snap, and here's the drive. That'll be 9 time coming off the clock for the Packers. 6 minutes to play. The Packers don't want to see long drives right now. 9 coming off Green Bay's offense. 36 is going to be a key pass. Looking at 3rd and 7 for Green Bay. From their own 48. Hunter takes the snap, drops back, looking for a target. Here's the throw. 24. And that's going to be a first down, a fresh set of downs for Green Bay. Stadium cheers. Yay! An offensive reading no matter what. Packers get this drive offense. Let's see what they do with this one. They still need a touchdown, and they can't be chewing up a lot of time. That'll be another 5 time coming off the clock. And a 33 off their offense. The Packers are going to have to punt, so the key pass comes to grief. Let's see if the punt gets blocked. Punt does not get blocked. This would be a huge time for the Packers defense to come up with a huge turnover. Cowboys looking for the dagger. Morton drops back in the shotgun. He will take the snap, and here's the drive. That will be 7 time coming off the clock. Down to 2 minutes to play in the quarter. 7 coming off the team with momentum. That's Green Bay, since it's even and we default to the home team. A 25 is going to be a quarterback sack. You could argue that probably needed to be a turnover. Stadium cheers. Yay! 6-yard loss. The Packers have one last chance, though. Dallas can't have a punt blocked, but Green Bay can return a punt for a touchdown. But it needs to be an 11-13 on red and white, and the 13 needs to be accompanied by a 62 and under on the blue and yellow. Lining up for the punt is Marv Bateman. Here's the snap, and here's the return. And that's not going to be returned for a touchdown. Stadium groans. Ugh. And there may just be too much lead here for the Packers to try to overcome, but they will get the ball back. Packers probably could score a touchdown here. Could they? Could they score a touchdown here and not have the game end on them? No, actually they can't. So we'll see what happens on this drive, but I think it's pretty much over at this point. And that's going to be that's going to be exactsies, I think. 7 time coming off the clock. This will be the last drive of the game. 6 coming off Dallas's defense. 36. The Packers would have to punt that one away, and that is the end of the game. The Dallas Cowboys hold on at Lambeau Field and take this one from the Packers by a final score of 27-17. Stadium groans. Ugh. And as such, with the most... Somewhere Detroit might be happy, at least in terms of these playoffs, with Green Bay losing. Yes, I would imagine they are. Because the Packers actually beat the Lions in Week 12 on the board to take control of the NFC Central, when it looked like the Lions would probably end up being the number 2 at a time, when the Lions were in the driver's seat for the number 2 seed. But with the playoff picture updated, the NFC Championship is now set. The Washington Redskins will be hosting the Dallas Cowboys in an NFC East rematch. Let me see what happened, but I think they split the series, so bear with me while I look that up, because now I'm curious. Week 6, Washington 1. Oh, that was the historical NFC Championship. Good to know. We definitely won't have the historical AFC Championship, though, I can tell you that right now. But I'm still curious if in this replay, the Redskins and the Cowboys split the season series. We're going to find that out soon enough, I think. And... no, the Redskins actually swept the season series. But remember, last night when we had Cincinnati and Pittsburgh in the AFC divisional playoffs, the Steelers had swept the season series. The Steelers swept the season series against the Bengals, but the Bengals actually won that game, actually won in the divisional playoffs to advance to the AFC Championship. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens on the board. It'll be interesting to see what happens when we get to the NFC Championship. But before we get to that point, here's what's coming up on the channel. No football tomorrow night, because tomorrow night I'll be debuting a new historic Wings game on the channel as we play SOE Lysander. Thursday will feature the last of the divisional playoff games as we move to the AFC and the Orange Bowl, where the Miami Dolphins will host the Oakland Raiders. Saturday will be quite a busy day, as in the morning, Mystical Munchies will finish out of the official Catan cookbook with the dessert, homemade fudge bricks. And then after that, we'll have Conference Championship Saturday, as first up will be the NFC Championship game between the Redskins and the Cowboys. And then later in the evening, actually afternoon evening, somewhere in that ballpark, we'll have the AFC Championship game between the Bengals and the winner of the Dolphins and the Raiders. Sunday we're continuing our freeform story in Call of Cthulhu. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.